Hey guys, welcome to an all-new episode of Collection Expansion Extravaganza right here on ToyWorldOrder.com with me, Duval. Carrie is away at the moment, and I just thought I'd bring us together to show you some of the stuff that she and I had found visiting a brand new Goodwill Outlet Store that's about 40 minutes away from us, give or take. Only open on Fridays from like 9 to 4 though, so it's a very strange Goodwill Outlet Store. But we did venture on the first day they were open to the public and dug through these huge corrugated cardboard boxes that were probably almost 5 foot tall, when they're standing on a pallet, and just filled to the brim with. They must have had, I don't know, on the floor when we got there was probably like 20 of these huge boxes just full of toys, and in the roped off area where they had all the other stuff they hadn't brought out yet, there was like 10 more. So I haven't been able to go back. I want to really badly because we found some amazing stuff at this Goodwill store. And some of the stuff we found, I'm going to do this way out of order from what Carrie and I usually do things because there's so much to show you and I want to get it all in. So we found some Glowworms. These are, I don't think these are vintage. I know Glow Butterfly, well, Glow Butterfly is, she's 85. So Glow Butterfly, I have not tested her yet to see if she works. But it's always fun to find glow friends. I know we found a glowworm recently. She had a little stain on her wing, but it'll come out eventually. Plus her down here. I found a little, get it around the new table here. I found a new lullaby glowworm from 2005. Haven't tested her yet either, but I know, like her namesake, she does light up and she does play a little lullaby. So I need to put some batteries in her and test her out one of these days, both of them, and see how they both work. But I'm not sure if I can get into the battery pack on this one because of the screws they've used. I might be able to. It's weird, but lullaby glowworm, glow baby, technically. Found a little Mickey Mouse, just a little Mickey Mouse in overalls and a purple shirt. I'm not sure what he's from. It looks like at one time he was hanging from something, or this was, I don't think this part was thread through, but he was part of something, maybe maybe a baby crib decoration for little babies or something. I'm not sure, but little Mickey that figured we'd put in the collection because he's pretty adorable. Let's see, this little gal from Rainbow Brite, one of the few large sprites that I didn't have, the little purple, the purple girl sprite. Thought I had her, and we dug her out of a box. I'm like, See, the thing you got to remember is Goodwill Outlet stores are 99 cents a pound. So you literally just buy a huge cartload of stuff that you just throw together, and they charge you by the pound. So I was like, for what we're probably going to pay for her, who cares if I have her? Let's just get her anyway, just to be sure. So little purple sprite there. Found Papa Bear from Berenstain Bears. Little stuffed Papa Bear. Carrie loves her some Berenstain Bears, so we saw this and grabbed it, but couldn't find anyone else. Just Papa. So pretty cool, cute little thing. Let's see. I found a vintage pound purries. The name escaped me for a minute. A little vintage pound purry. I've got some vintage pound puppies, some of the smaller kinds. So this little pound purry go in there with those. So that's pretty adorable. We found this bank that we're not sure what it exactly is. I know that it's from '71. It's just a fun little puppy dog. Fun, cute little Dalmatian dog who is a bank. And I don't know, he's got these two plastic dials on the sides of his head, so I'm not sure what those are for, but he was in pretty decent shape. The numbers kind of torn off and missing there, and but his rubber ears, which probably are usually the first things that get pulled off and ripped off because they're the rubber they are there. But he needs a little bath. But Aegis was something that caught our eyes, and we were like, he's got a little crack in the head down here, but his head still, you can still pose his head. So just a really cool, odd bank from the 70s that we were like, it's cool, let's get it. Again, 99 cents a pound. At that point, there's not much you go, I don't want that. Found this, surprisingly it survived, but I'm not sure what this went to, but it's a foam flounder that I actually can put over my head, like so. I like Little Mermaid. What can I say? That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, I'm not sure what it went to, what it was from. It might have been a party favor. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't do a whole lot of research to figure out what he came from, but I thought he was kind of neat, so we picked him up. Again, 99 cents a pound. So found some small stuff. Found this little Mickey Mouse from the parks from Disneyland. The tag on the foot still says Disneyland, but this is from 2010. This was just one of the random posable Mickey figures that you could buy. These are usually sold by themselves. They're usually a bunch of them just like on a shelf, and they just stand, and they've got a whole whopping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 6 points of articulation, so the legs can move, the arms can move up and down, the head can turn left and right, and he can turn at the waist. So but just a little nice, cool little posable Mickey. So that was fun. We'll set him here because we'll put all this back in this box. Found some Funko Pops, which were interesting to dig out of. I mean, they've been around for a number of years now. It's not going to be surprising to start seeing them show up loose at flea markets and at garage sales when kids they don't care about them anymore. But I found Joy from Inside Out and Superman. So I'm not a big pop collector. Neither Carrie and I are. I've got an Ariel, like an Ariel and Ursula, of course. I've got Marty and the DeLorean from Back to the Future. We've got an Animal and a Goofy. But again, when they're 99 cents a pound, you just throw stuff in the thing that you're like, just throw it in the basket. We'll figure it out later. So some interesting little items. Let's see what else in here. This cool little. This was for Burger King. Looks like 2013 was a Pac-Man, and it's kind of neat when you raise his arm up there. You can see his mouth changes color. I don't know how well it shows up on camera. I'll try to get a better picture of it. But there's ghosts in his mouth, and you lower his arm, and he eats the ghosts. So I didn't even know Burger King did a Pac-Man. I had no idea. I haven't done research, and again, we don't follow a lot of the newer fast food premiums. So a lot of the stuff I stumble across that's newer, and I'm like, I didn't know they did that. Well, there's a reason, because I don't follow it that closely. Found some Kellogg Disney World Disneyland head bobbers. These were free in Kellogg cereals in, I want to say these were early 2000s. I'm pretty sure, but I found Minnie in a green dress, which we didn't. She was in a number of different colored dresses, and then little green men from Toy Story. So, see, they're not really the best head bobbers, but they kind of bob. So, there is that. Let's see, another Mario piece, just Mario on a little turtle shell. I don't know what he's from. I really don't. I didn't see any, just the copyright for 2006 Nintendo. So he is a number of years old. He's a little beat up on the face, but I don't know what he went to. But I'll take a Mario little PVC over anything any day. I thought this was interesting. We grabbed this, and this is going to go on the fridge upstairs. But this looks like it was. I don't think it's a licensed item, honestly. I don't think Nickelodeon licensed these, but it's a little Rugrats Mug Magnet. It was made in China, and it looks like it's hand painted, or it was. They were all hand painted, probably, but probably done at the height of the Rugrats popularity when stuff was coming out. And you see a lot of these magnets like this that aren't licensed that pop out of there. So that was kind of fun. Some Disney PVCs, Hercules and Pegasus. Don't have one of those. This was probably more than likely a cake topper, but it's Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty on a bench with a rose in between them. So I love Disney PVCs, whether they're cake toppers or doesn't matter what they are. They're darn cool. This little soft PVC Donald, little soft PVC Donald. The main mouse Mickey himself on a surfboard. Hang ten, dude. I'm not going to do a Mickey Mouse voice. That's not going to work. Let's see. I found an Ursula, a big PVC Ursula to go with my Little Mermaid stuff. And she's all sparkly and actually translucent in here. In her belly region, she's translucent, so that's kind of neat. We found a little goofy caboose. I'm not sure he connected to something. The little front connector is broken, but a little goofy in a caboose. It was kind of cute. And then the last two items, I'm going to start putting some of this back in here as we go over. Oh no! Oh no! Probably another cake topper of Bugs and Taz. They probably want to top the cake. Let me see if I can reach that. I dropped it. I dropped it. Oh! I got it. I got it. Yeah. I got it. And this, I don't know where this came from, but it's Street Sharks. And it's a little mouth puppet. Roar. 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 Street Sharks. Roar. Gah. Not sure what it's from. There were no really copyright information in it, other than the licensing information for 95 for Street Sharks. I got to do some research on this because I don't know where these came from, but some very neat little item for Street Sharks that had to have been a fast food premium, or maybe it was a pack-in with one of the VHS tapes back in the day. That I'm not sure, but it's something to eventually do some research on. So there is that to do. Let's see, what else can I show you here? This was a little bit of a newer item, and it was a preschool item, and I remember seeing this on the shelf. This is from 2010, and it's just a Spacesuit Mickey, and he made some noises and stuff when you pressed this little thing. He probably talked and made some noises. Probably from Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse, honestly, from around that time frame. But it's a big Mickey in a spacesuit. I mean, it's kind of cool, so how could you say no to that? Some very interesting electronic items. I found a handheld Tiger Little Mermaid game, and this would have been from the reissue of Little Mermaid, because it's the logo for the reissue, not for the original film, but for the reissue. So I found that. I thought that was kind of neat. I was like, Tiger handheld games are spectacularly awful. I want it. So picked that up. It does work. I did test it. It does play. The batteries didn't make it go on. This was kind of cool. This was a vintage 85 item from Fisher-Price, and it's the Fisher-Price cookie counter. Count, add, subtract, quiz calculator with Cookie Monster. And this does work. We did test this, and the sounds work, the graphics work. Just a pretty cute little Fisher-Price item. And again, a lot of these electronics like this, both are missing their the battery covers. So, but you don't really need them for the batteries to stay in there. They stay in there pretty good. But kind of cool to find those and have them work. That was a lot of fun. Found another Disney item we found was this Disney The Lion King gumball machine. It was a penny gumball machine. At least that's what it says on the top there. Simba, of course, is asleep on top of the gumballs here, and he comes off there. And of course, when you put the what's supposed to happen is when you put the penny in there, that pushes this internal mechanism here. The gumballs sit in here, and that pushes that forward to let the gumball fall out into there. So you fill up the clear, fill all that up with gumballs, and then it's also got a stopper on the bottom to keep all your pennies. So kind of like a little bank, basically it's what it is. It's just a little gumball bank, but still kind of neat. This was kind of cool. This was I've got a Little Mermaid bubble blower. This is a different Little Mermaid bubble blower where the one I have is she's got a hand and she picks up the little bubble blower and it comes out of her. She blows the air out of her mouth. This one actually, the bubble blower comes out of the shell. It blows the air out of the little tube here, and this opens and closes as it comes up. So that was kind of neat. That was kind of fun to find. It still needs cleaned up a little bit because it's still kind of nasty, but I cleaned it up the best I could. I wanted to at least clean Ariel and the shell up the best I could, but some of the stuff ain't coming off. So that's the unfortunate thing with finding some stuff like that. It just tends to be kind of gross, really. Found some cool stuff. Found now Dave Draper and I are kind of we're not sure who made these. We're not sure if Mego actually made this. This is the actual General Lee. This, I had one of these as a kid. Of course, it had the generally sticker on the top here, and it had some other stickers on the sides, which you can see the stickers are kind of beat up. I'm going to eventually try to find repro stickers for this, but I found this, and I believe Bo is the blonde one. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been a while since I've watched Dukes of Hazzard. But I found one of the Little Amigo Dukes, so I have one of the two Duke brothers to go in there, to go in the car. And I remember I had this as a kid. I had both the figures, and I remember launching this sucker off of my stairs at the house outside, you know, just launching it. A lot of fun. So that was kind of cool to find. It was really dirty though. I cleaned it up a lot. It was disgusting. We found this Space Games from Unisonic. It's for the Mickey Mouse Talkback talking computer system, and it's the which one is this? Space Games. And it's kind of cool because it still it has the cassette tape in here, and it still has the workbook in here. So I've never seen a Mickey Mouse Talkback talking computer though, so that's something to keep my eyes out for, is one of those. Down the road eventually. I found a crap ton of Mighty Max stuff. For those of you who don't remember Mighty Max were these great little play sets, and inside all of these play sets, as I try to remember how to open the werewolf one here, inside all these little play sets, these were basically Polly Pockets for boys. So inside, you know, most of these are complete. They are pretty much all complete. But they were all like these little play sets inside of these, just these closable, basically carrying cases. You can carry them around. I don't know all the individual names for it, but I mean, I found a ton of these as we were digging through stuff. Carrie found it because she found, surprise, surprise, the gorilla, and brought it to me. She said, "What is this?" And I was like, "Show me where you found that. Where did you find that?" And I started digging through and just finding box after box, you know, or you know, just playset after playset after playset after playset, and I mean, it kept coming and coming, and I just kept pulling more and more of them out of. The Cyclops is missing his bottom jaw, but I just kept pulling them and pulling them and pulling them out of this big box of stuff. And I also found the McDonald's one, and I also found. Let's move this table up just a little bit towards you guys there. I can get down and get this. I also found the, I believe this is the Lava Mountain playset. And what's cool about this is I had found, after she showed me this, or while she was finding that, I found this in one of the boxes and was like, oh, there's stuff in here, and opened it up, and there was a baggie, a big sandwich baggie full of parts and pieces, and I'm like, all of those didn't go to the mountain. Now the mountain here, mine is missing the elevator, and there's an extra land piece that came with it that connected, like you connected the little bridge to it. It's missing both those two pieces, but everything else is here. All the little figures, the fireballs, everything else is inside of here, and that because they were all inside the sandwich baggie. So, you know, I found all of that to that. I found all these Mighty Max play sets. I mean, like I said, they just kept coming one after another after another. Pretty much 80% of them are complete. I did manage to find, you know, most of them have the Max, the characters that came with it. There were some that are missing a few accessories here and there. Little, I know on a couple of them I'm missing like some ropes that connected to different pieces, and just odd little things like that. Some of them I'm just missing everything. I couldn't find anything to any of the smaller guys here, so that's missing, you know, everything. And then I found, you know, I've got bags full of stuff for the other play sets, like the Nuke Ranger from Mighty Max Fights the Nuke Ranger from the Horror Head series. I've got the Skull Warrior from the Horror Head series. I have got all the accessories minus the Max for the Action Masters Lava Beast playset. I've got all the accessories minus the Mighty Max for the Strikes Fang playset for the Action Masters. I've got all of the Action Masters except, again, Max for the head-to-head Hydra. And then I've got almost all of the against the Robot Invader. I've got the Robot Invader, I've got the head, I've got Max in there, but it's missing. There was a little piece that that could fire, I believe could fire out on that. So I found a ton of Mighty Max stuff, and people have asked me if I'm going to keep it or not. Haven't decided yet. That's one of the things where it's kind of, I'm still up in the air on if I'm going to keep them, what I'm going to do with them, because Mighty Max was, it was during my time collecting toys while I was still buying toys as a youngster, but it was never something I got heavily into or got into at all. I never really had a Mighty Max playset, so I know lots of people who did. I did not. Oh, one of the other ones, he kind of fell down there. One of the other playsets that we found. Found some ponies. Found some vintage ponies for my Little Pony collection. One of the baby ponies, and I don't know the names. I haven't looked them up. There were so many ponies. When you start looking things up, and you're like, holy crap, there's so much. I'll never complete a collection because they came with combs and they all had stickers, and I just like finding them in the wild and kind of cleaning them up and putting them in the collection. So I've got a lot. I've got a bunch of the playsets that are complete, but found some Masters figures. Found Tongue Lasher, who was in pretty good shape, minus the fact that someone chewed off his the fingers on his right hand. Now, I have a Tongue Lasher already, and this one's tongue actually is in pretty decent shape. These are usually really rough, so I need to look to see which one is better. Like this one, his legs are still pretty solid too. He can, if I wasn't trying to stand him on a book right now, he can still stand up pretty good. So found a Tongue Lasher. I thought that was kind of neat. And then I found Battle Armor Skeletor, which I don't think I had Battle Armor Skeletor. His legs are real loose, so I'll probably end up cutting the leg bands in there and fixing them. Usually, there's a method of using little tiny eyelets and new bands to fix those legs, basically. So I'll probably end up doing that and fixing Skeletor's legs so he can stand again. I've done that with a number of them. So I found this little Michael Jordan from Space Jam. I've got a couple of little Space Jam figures, but I didn't have a Michael Jordan, so I was like, oh, I'll buy Michael Jordan. And I think I've got a basketball that came with Lola Bunny that I'll actually put in Jordan's hands, so because it should fit. I think they were all the same. Surprisingly, I found a tube of mutagen from the new Turtles line that was still in pretty decent shape, surprisingly. Never been opened, which was super weird to find, but I was like, well, crap, I will pick the ooze up because, come on, how awesome is that? So, and the turtle, of course, is still in there since it's never been opened. That was kind of fun to find in a big box full of crap. I found Hasbro released a Masterpiece Starscream. Again, the stuff you find when you start digging through these giant bins of stuff, and you're like, holy crap, he's missing some bits. You know, the back bits on his back legs, the missiles he came with. He's missing the other side of here that went to him, but in robot mode, he looks fine. He displays great. So I'm going to display him because I sold mine a long time ago. I'm going to display him holding the little the Megatron gun that came with Optimus, and he'll go up with my Masterpiece figures right up here above us. So that's where Starscream's going to go. This is what I thought was cool. This is one of the first things I found because it was just sitting on top. But it's the Mattel $6 Million Man. The $6 Million Man himself is in here. He's kind of in rough shape, but he's got his socks, and the one that I've got that's in really good shape doesn't have his socks. So I will pull the socks off this one and put them on the other one, but missing his tiny arm insert, but and the tube, and I don't remember what the tube is called, so I apologize, but it's missing just about everything. The top, the bottom, all the wires, all the bits and pieces that went to it are missing. But this was kind of cool just to see sitting there and going, well, that's just sitting on top. Again, it's the stuff that Goodwill, like, you know, you're just amazed that, well, why didn't Goodwill try to sell this? Because that's usually what Goodwill does. They put all the good stuff on Shop Goodwill, but this was just tons of it. Found this vintage Pound Puppies home. It's missing the front doors, but meh. Again, for 99 cents a pound, what are you going to say? No. But that was kind of fun to find. I had one of those when I was a kid. It's pretty cute. I found this vintage strawberry shortcake berry bake shop. And this one up behind me that you see is actually the reissue from the 90s, from the late 90s. So that is actually the reissue. And this one actually is pretty complete. I'm going to steal some pieces from the reissue to complete this and then display it and put the reissue up, because I would rather have the vintage one up than the reissue. Plus, this on the reissue was made out of really, really simple, thin plastic for the for that little piece, so for the little handle, and they broke really easy. And this one, of course, is pretty darn sturdy. So we're going to display that instead of the other one. I think the major little action figure find of the day is the guy that's been sitting here staring at you the entire time. And this was a Cosmic Kittel from Mattel from 1968. And these were, they made a line of dolls called Little Kittels, and Cosmic Kittels were the, I don't want to say they were geared towards boys, but it was still part of the Kittel line. And this little guy here is Yellow Fellow. And he had a little base that he went on that made it kind of look like he was flying, a little rocky base, the back plugged into, and this set in a little groove, and he could kind of rock back and forth. But he's got wheels on the bottom, so when you roll the wheels, he turns in his little spaceship, and the dome's still intact, his antenna. I was amazed that this had not been destroyed in one of those boxes, because they just dumped stuff in there. And he was buried in there, and I dug him out and was like, well, crap. This is one of the rarer Cosmic Kittels in the line, and this is probably the find, because what these little guys sell for, just like this, is ridiculous. I would have never thought that, but little Yellow Fellow from Cosmic Kittels, kind of a cute, neat little thing. So again, you never know what you're going to find at Goodwill. One of the things we found was Miss Piggy's Guide to Life, this great book from '82. Of course, she's got her little author picture on the back, but it's kind of cool. I've looked through it, but it's got like a bunch of, it's got stuff about fashion in there. It's got a diet, so it's got a bunch of recipes that Piggy's come up with, you know, beauty tips. It's an amazing book. I didn't know this thing existed until I found it. It was like, oh, I've got to have that, because that's pretty spectacular. So Miss Piggy's Guide to Life made me smile when I found that. I was like, that's awesome. Some puzzles we found. Disney Friends of Minnie, Mickey, Minnie, Mickey, and Pluto. So those puzzles are complete. Little Garfield puzzle there. What's funny is they still had like the Goodwill stickers on them, and those were just thrown into bins. Dug through the VHS tapes, and I found some vintage VHS tapes. Sesame Street, Start to Read, Video, Don't Cry, Big Bird, and Other Stories. I found a Disney's Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventures, Ariel's Gift. I found another Disney Princess Collection, Ariel's Songs and Stories. That was fun. This one was cool. This was a special appearance by Paul Abdul, but it's Barbie's Dance Club. That's amazing. And I found this a Golden Book video storybooks brought to life of Pound Puppies, including the Gatecrashers, Snowball the Wonder Dog, and the Puppy Who Couldn't Remember. So those were... I'm not in the VHS collecting market, but when I find vintage stuff like that, I tend to buy it. This was kind of cool. This was a Pizza Hut cup, Pizza Hut character cup from American Tail 5 Goes West, and this is Wylie Burp. Of course, these cups, you can put the straws on the tops, and the hats just popped off there, and they connected. These character cups are actually getting kind of harder to find like this with the hats and everything on them. But found Wylie Burp, couldn't find anyone else, but Wylie Burp was kind of a fun find for that. We found this Care Bears TV tray. It's kind of beat up. It's bent. It's got a large bend right here. The back's kind of toasted, but the front of it displays really nicely. And we've got a ton of TV trays. One of these days we're going to show you guys all the TV trays we have. But that was kind of cool to find, is just the vintage Care Bears TV tray, because you just can't get TV trays anymore, which is very sad. And then to wrap things up on this solo outing of Collection Expansion, we found the I Love the 80s board game, which is everything is falling inside there, which is just a trivia game. This was done in 2006, and it's a VH1. It's a VH1 Sing Draw Act trivia game. So I picked that up just because I'm like, oh, that's gonna be fun. There's probably stuff in there even I don't know, and I grew up in the 80s. So, and then last but not least is this awesome Parker Brothers Goofy Golf machine, and this was from ¡94. And it's a really fun, not necessarily a board game per se, but it is kind of a 3D Rube Goldberg kind of machine. But there is a game element involved where you're just trying to make the holes in ones and stuff, and trying to use the elevator. It didn't have the marbles, but everything else is there. And the marbles for this were just tiny little white marbles, so just little tiny regular white marbles, which I have plenty of in other games that I can pull from. So. there you go, guys. There's a look at the stuff that we found at the Goodwill Outlet Store near us. We plan on going back soon, or at least I do. So again, seeing as they're only open on Fridays, it kind of puts a bind in things. You know, I have to take a half day to go next time, and Carrie may or may not go. It just depends. But next time we go, we're going to dig through a lot more stuff and see, because the stuff changes all the time. So every week it's going to be different piles of stuff. So I look forward to going again. I look forward. It was much nicer than the one we've talked about in the past from St. Louis, because the St. Louis one was kind of nasty. This was a lot cleaner and a lot better to dig through. Our only complaint was the boxes were so high that you were almost bent over falling inside of this big 5-foot-high box trying to dig through the bottom of it, and you could never get to the bottom of any of these boxes. So that was the only sad thing. So, but hopefully maybe they'll fix that and they'll shorten the boxes a little bit. But there you go, guys. You can check us out. You can check out all the further adventures of Collection Expansion Extravaganza on ToyWorldOrder.com and YouTube.com/ToyWorldOrder. Hit subscribe, mash the like button. Check us out on iTunes and Stitcher under Toy World Order for Married to the Collection and David Duvall's Toys Collectibles podcasts. And then you can check us out on Board the Show, YouTube.com/Board the Show. So check us out. Carrie will be back next episode. And gang, for both of us, until next time, keep digging, because you never quite know what you're going to find. Take care, guys.